Live. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. If my voice is gone, it's because I recorded a podcast with Julian that's coming out tomorrow. It's a good one because we went over all the possible Dybala replacements, or realistic one, non-realistic one. So that's coming out tomorrow at 2 p.m. CET. I think it's CET. Yeah. So check that out. With me today is Davide. How you doing, buddy?
Good evening. Good, thanks yourself.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Crazy day. Yeah, you've been going at it for a few hours. Well,
Yeah.
a few hours anyways by the time you're done.
My voice
Going
is
for the
gone.
long haul. Yeah. Excuse Ali tonight if he needs to take a few swigs what is it, cola?
No, it's Schweppes. I don't know if you know Schweppes.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Schweppes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't usually drink it, but it's the first thing.
You need it today.
It's first thing in the refrigerator. That's all. So it's a Schweppes evening. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Dybala, obviously. Some things came out today, weird things in my opinion, or just strange things. We will talk about that. We will talk about some of the transfer news, but also what's going to happen now moving forward with Dybala this season still. And then we will look at the chat. But before we get into everything, I will ask you, because it's the first time you came on, since the news broke that Dybala's not going to stay. So what's your opinion on him leaving on a free?
I kind of expected this to happen. It's been going on, 3 years maybe? It seems like forever, however long it has actually been. And it finally just happened. And I'm just personally not surprised by that. I don't think I don't think they should be if they've been paying attention to the news the past couple of years. It's just unfortunate, and I think emotionally that's really where it hurts people. But as you always preach, it's the team before the player. So this is it. We're seeing it, right? This is what we've been asking for. We've reaped what we sow. We wanted this to happen with the management, and this is how it happens. So let's deal with it.
That's fair. Well, like you say, emotional. Well, if you're gonna watch tomorrow's podcast, you will see Justin. Julian is ice cold. I will warn you for that. Like, he has no heart. The guy has no heart. I try to push him in a direction to be, I didn't want to say that,
have some
soft.
sympathy?
Yeah, but no chance.
Just stone cold. All right.
Yeah. So the reaction on social media, I think it's obvious what it is. For the most part, it's emotional. Also because I would say I'm not an old guy. I'm not young, but some of them are very young. When I see and that's fine. They grew up with Dybala, I would say. I grew up with different players, so I can put it more into perspective, I would say. It's still sad. Is it sad he's leaving? Yeah, but the last 2 seasons, like you said, there was a stat today. He played 43% of the games for us since last season.
It's not good enough.
That's not good. Let's be honest, it's not good. I think we can say that. For a top player, that's not good. For a bench player, fantastic. Great. But for a top player who's your main guy, that's not good.
The focal point of the team. Yeah, it has to be better than that. Unfortunately,
it has to be better. Now, what I have an issue is the way it ended, the way it's been dealt with. Yeah. I think it's dealt with. It's not good. It looks very, would I say, unprofessional? It looks very chaotic. And nothing makes sense. Then you hear this, then you hear that, then everybody is taking shots in pre-games at his manager, which I think is fair because he still cannot sign a deal. He can't. And now today I read he's doing some, I don't know, paperwork to be a legal agent in Spain. I'm like who is this guy?
It's insane. Yeah,
it's like he picked me up. He could have picked me off the streets then. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
we even touched on this last time I was on.
We did.
Yeah, and here it is. This is what we get with it.
That's exactly true. Now, is it all a Juve's fault? No, because in in 20, we offered him a deal. He didn't sign it. He didn't. And I remember Agnelli coming out saying we offered him top 20 player money. He wants more top 5 player money, which is not worth. And I agree with him.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
There was a deal back then. He didn't take it, and now it dragged on. The new board members, like new management, came in and they said we're not going to do it. We're going to move on. We're going to do it our way. Now, if it's a good decision, we will see. Like, we cannot say no, yes. Nobody can do that. You can have your opinion, but we don't know for a fact if it's a good or a bad idea. Like, it's what it is. But like I said, the reaction is emotional, and I get that. But to be honest, I also don't. Yeah, I will say I get that. I will show hard. Like, I get it that people are emotional about him, because I think everybody loved Dybala. Like I said on the podcast with Julian, like when I went to the stadium, I went for Juve, obviously, but everybody went to watch Dybala. Like, the last goal I saw him scored live was against Milan before lockdown, basically, or that season. That was the last game, and then the lockdown happened. I planned new games. I couldn't go. It was against Milan. We were awful that game. Ronaldo was non-existent. He came off. He left the stadium. Dybala came on with Douglas Costa, 1-2 touch, like step over, quality goal. He won us that game. That's the last game I saw him score live at the stadium.
Oh, so we did win that game.
Yeah,
I remember there was one that we didn't do so well.
No, we won 1-0.
But okay, so you went to a good one at least.
Yeah. all the games I went to the stadium, we won. So I'll say that. So I'm
right on.
So I will never forget those moments, because there was a question in the podcast you will see tomorrow. It will come out tomorrow. It's a good one. Somebody asked in terms of like, was he that important in the 7 years, like, or something like that? And I was like, yeah, obviously. Like, you cannot. Do you think otherwise? Because I think it's undeniable that he was important.
We wouldn't be here talking about him if he wasn't that important.
That's a fair comment.
If this was like Rugani that was leaving in the same, people would be like, see you later. Move on. Who else are we talking about now?
That's actually a very good point. It is. Like, we wouldn't be talking about it. So yes, he was important. He was a good player, a fantastic player, honestly. When he was fit, that's the last 2 years. Like, when he's fit, amazing. Like, we saw that goal against Sanitana. Like, quick control, first post, good finish. That's Dybala. That's him. But like Julian said on the podcast, like, this season it's against those teams, because he's not fit.
Yeah,
and that's an issue. That's actually a very big issue. Now, if his agent was an agent, he would have signed in October. It would have been done.
Yeah, that's the one thing that still I can't wrap my head around.
It would have been done.
Like, this guy wasn't an agent.
Yeah. He's a family friend. Years ago. He's a family friend, so that's it. But in October, it could have been done, and then you have two parts. Okay, it could have been done, but the club now says he's not at the center of the project. So I'm like, and you said at Juventus said we have a 3-year plan. So I'm like, hold on. So if you signed Dybala, what was the 3-year plan? Because Vlahovic wouldn't be in that plan, apparently. So what was the plan? So that makes me think, like, do you guys really have a 3-year plan? Or are you just lying to us again? Because it doesn't add up to me, because you changed your mind from October to January when you said we're going to get Vlahovic and Dybala, you need to leave. So you changed your project. You planned the 3-year project, but 6 months in the 3 years, you said, we're going to go.
Is that a contingency though? Because remember, months ago we heard all these connections with guys we're hearing again, say Berardi coming the day after, essentially, right? So I feel like they've had a list of names. If Dybala doesn't re-sign, this is what we do. So I still feel in that case that it's still part of the plan. And plans have to make adjustments as they go on. You need if you don't have a contingency plan, A, B, C, D, whatever, the plan's going to fail, like, flat on its face. So I'm still believing, I suppose. I'm on the management side in this case.
You're positive. I need to see it first, because the last 3 years.
Take 3 years.
The last 3 years, like previous or 2, like, there was no plan. Like, absolutely, that's why we're in this situation now. So I will go and read out some chats first before we move on. Thanks everybody for watching. because it's the later one. Please like the video and subscribe. Stephanie saying, I like the hat, Davide. So
yeah, it's first time wearing it actually, so thank you.
So new for a show. Nice. Ryan saying start of a new era next season. Players have to show their worth at Juve. Yeah, I think that's obvious. Like that's a given. But still, some players don't, and they're still at the team. Sandro. The Red Eagle Eye saying hello guys. It's been a while. It's been actually a while. Hope you're okay. Because it's, to be honest, it's been very while. Like it's more than a while. It's been months, I think. Unless I cannot remember. JJ saying this is a good sign for all the other free agents and that from our squad. Berendeschi is 100% out. I would not say 100%, but it's looking good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie about it. Also, Sandro, Rabiot, Ramsey, Arthur, Rugani, and Keane. Yeah, let's see. I don't think we can get rid of all the players because I don't think we can replace them all in one summer. Let me see. Romolo was saying, I like Dybala when he first came to Juve. I was a big fan, but from 2018 onwards, I wanted him out no matter what. Oh, 2018, that's soon. Why? I think that's soon. I think it started in 2020 for me. It was like, I'm not saying I want him out, but I was like, it's not going in the right direction, in my opinion. But
there were murmurings back then. I remember though, yeah, and there was some dissent in the fan base even then. Now it wasn't huge, but it existed.
Yeah, Jeremiah saying really gonna miss the iconic Dybala mask celebration with his amazing goals. A wonderful, gifted player, but recent injuries devalued him. His 7 years with us will never be forgotten. No, I think nobody is gonna forget that. You can. Like on my podcast with Julian, I said, like when you're gonna, like, let's say you're 70 years old, you're gonna sit back and you're gonna think back at the 9 Scudettos in a row. He's one of the first players that will pop up. So that's Sterling, in my opinion. He will pop up in my mind, like immediately. He's the reason we won so many things also. So forget him, never. I don't think that's possible. Julian will need to return his Dybala jersey. Yeah, he's a hypocrite. He will not do it. And he's probably in the chat.
Oh yeah, he does have one, doesn't he? I was thinking
he also has a Ramsey jersey.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Why am I surprised? He has just everything.
Why do the chats? Sorry, guys, if I cannot read it out because it goes fast. Stefan is saying personal opinion here, based on nothing. Okay, I think Dybala was ready to accept a lower offer, and they tried to make it as low as possible, so he leaves by his own choice, so it looks better. I think he would accept a lower offer, but the club did not make a lower offer because the club was done. I think let's call a spade a spade. The club was done, so they didn't even make a lower offer. So I think the club made the decision, and that's why I think it's a bit sad the way it has been handled. But Crazy Racing, I will cry if we replace Dybala with Berardi. Well, that's two of us then. And Jab is sailing. Ali, I know you hate Berardi, but he's a Serie A MVP for excellence this season. I'm happy for him.
If you guys want, if we get Berardi, we can just have a podcast where we cry for, I don't know, half hour? Good half hour cry? Is that what we want?
Like, again, tomorrow the podcast for replacements, we go through the names and the Berardi's on that list of names, so you will hear what I have to say about it, but I would say no, but watch that podcast for the reason why. And it's a simple reason. It's not a disrespectful reason. How's the same Berardi is good? Why do people hate him? He's good, but not for the top level. There. You don't need to watch the podcast now. He will not. In Europe, he will not do it for you. Like, if Dybala, that was one of the criticism people gave him. Imagine Berardi. So.
Well, we get to see him play for Italy?
Yeah, he will play against Macedonia because there's nobody else fit. So
yeah, he's the only.
And it's Macedonia.
Only guy in the position.
Jeremiah is saying, since Dybala's leaving, there's quite a few deadwoods that we need to cut off. 2, absolutely no renewal of contracts. Otherwise, it's double standards from management. Yeah, for some players, I agree. But like, if you're gonna renew Chilio for 2 mil, I get why, because you cannot replace 3 fullbacks in one summer. That's the reality of the situation. It's what it is.
And you still need the backups as well.
You do. And also he can play right and left, so he will probably get the new deal. Stephanie saying the same thing is happening in Argentina. He can fit in their formation. Yeah, he never plays for them. He doesn't.
He's just, the modern game doesn't really seem to fit that anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Julian saying you're ruining the podcast. You gotta tease your takes and make the people watch. I couldn't. People were acting like Berardi is Mo Salah. Like I couldn't let it slip. I'm sorry, but it's a good podcast. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the best one we made so far because it's fun. I have fun. Yeah,
you get fun. Me excited for. I'll be watching it tomorrow.
Yeah, it will come out tomorrow. Stefan is saying Berardi out. He didn't even join, so that's fast.
Yeah, you gotta. He has to come first.
He says we replace Higuain with Morata, Ronaldo with Keane, Pjanic with Arthur. So it's understandable why not all fans are very optimistic about the Dybala replacement and his departure. And you were spot on. I know. I think that I'm scared. I'm actually scared.
That's a good point.
Because I don't want to wake up in the summer and we sign Berardi. I don't. Then I'd rather have an injured Dybala and only play for the half of the season. I do. Malik is saying, Ale, your honest opinions about Juve is one of the reasons why a lot of us subscribe to the channel. Keep it up. Well, thanks. Some will call it negative, but it is what it is. But thanks for the comment. Allegri, Bernardeschi, Sandro, Keane, De Sciglio, Quadrado should leave. Yeah, Allegri's not going to leave. I agree with Bernardeschi, Sandro, Keane. Quadrado, he shouldn't get a long-term deal. De Sciglio, I get why he's getting one, but it should be 2 max. That's it. So yeah, let's see. Nemesis agrees. So also thanks for that. Unless you agree with the players who needed to leave. Then I look like an idiot now. Hassa saying, well, we already have 2 European top talents, Vlahovic and Chiesa. We should now be trying to get back to winning the Scudetto, and Berardi is the man. Afterwards, we can look into European players, in my opinion. That's a fair take. I understand your way of thinking.
And you got to throw De Ligt in there as well, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I understand your way of thinking, but we'll still say no to Berardi. I can't.
John He's won a Euro Cup. He's a top European talent.
Yeah, if you like. Yeah, if you want to call it one. Okay. John is saying, guys, chill. I have a feeling Agnelli is planning something incredible for the summer. Lol. Yeah, I mean, you give it away there. A little girl told me, Mbappe, I also have... take it. I read it out. Why did I put it on the screen? But thanks, John. Jab is saying, Ale, I know Berardi would never play for us. He's Interista, but I really have a soft spot for him. I don't think the Interista part is a problem. Chiellini was a Milan fan growing up. Maldini was a Juve fan growing up. Nesta was a Lazio fan growing up. So I don't think that's an issue. I think the issue is he said no in the past. And he loves to be, how do you want to say that, at ease, knowing I'm going to play, I'm the man. And that's not going to happen at Juve. So for me, that's the wrong mindset, in my opinion. It is. I think he will leave Sassuolo, but I think he will go Fiorentina or something. I think that's a good place for him to go. Malik, we should sign players who are already Juventino, like Locatelli, and play more with our youth team. That's difficult. Like, if you're just gonna
sign, it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, it's working out now, but it's not always gonna work out.
And you usually see athletes do that at the end of their career when they want to choose where they go.
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly the point. But you got Marquisio, you got Locatelli now, but like it's not gonna happen. Often, like it's luck. Like it's pure luck. Like it's no science.
Or lots of money.
Yeah, but there's no science like behind it. Like, oh, he's a Juve player. Like you cannot filter on Juve player and being talented. You know.
And you also get a loyalty to whoever you're with, whether it's like it could be your school, your company, your sports team, what have you. Like as fans, we have the loyalty to Juventus, but I don't know, say you moved to Spain and I don't know, say you were in Barcelona and you were around Barcelona people all the time. Do you not have a bit of an affinity for that team just because you're there? You're kind of wrapped in that atmosphere. So especially when you go to a different team, you're completely involved in that, right? So yeah, in your heart you might be a Juve fan or what have you, but your heart's always with where you're at right now. Unless it's not, and then you do everything to get out. But typically, you throw it all in there.
I agree with that. John is saying, for real, we should look for wingers, Belgian, Netherlands talents for bargains. Noah Long, for example. No chance. No, not Noah Long. Like, no. His attitude, he will last 1 week with Allegri, and he will be sold. I'll tell you that. Yes, one of the worst attitudes I've ever seen. He acts like he's Messi. He plays for Bruges in Belgium. Like, that's that stinking. I'm not pushing it. His attitude stinks. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He has one of the biggest hats out there in terms of he thinks he made it already, but he's still playing in the Belgian league. You didn't make it. You did it, and he's on the bench now. Also,
and nobody likes playing with those guys either.
No, he will not last under Allegri. Like, imagine him doing that with Chiellini in the squad. He will not last. Chiellini called that Cancelo. Imagine. So it's not gonna happen. Malik is saying, let's hope we don't sign Pogba. He's lazy and he will be an issue in the dressing room. I don't think he's lazy. I think that's he's been labeled that in England. They hype up Rashford. Rashford is not amazing. Like
they hype up a lot of players.
Yeah, they protect Maguire. He's awful. Like, that's English media. I don't think if Pogba comes in, I'm not saying bring him in, but he will hit the ground running immediately. That's my opinion. Ricky Aussie is saying there's no loyalty anymore since the days of Roberto Baggio, etc. Yeah, that's what I tweeted out. Like, people need to chill a bit. I understand why people love a player, but you also now, I think for a lot of people now, it's a point where, like, really, do I need to do it? Because it's a business. The club doesn't care. The players at the end of the day really don't care also. Like, and I don't blame any of them. Man. Like, if the money was like in the 90s, then maybe. But the money is so big everywhere. Like, you can play for Fiorentina and you still can get 3 million euros a season. So it changed. Football changed. Let me see. Oh no, Crazy Ray sent Maximum for 40 mil. Like, he has Bernardeschi stats of output. Like, he's on the ball great, but his output, it stinks.
Yeah, you gotta finish, I suppose. Yeah. You can be fancy, but you gotta put it in the net or give it to the guy that will.
He doesn't do that. Like, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do that. So no. Stefan is saying, if any scope from Juve is here, I'm a Juventus fan. I'm amazing when I don't have the ball. Fast, strong. So basically, like Moisty, I'll sign for fun. 500 euros a week, the minimum wage. Let me see if there's some other chats. I didn't. Okay, I read out all the chats for now. I'll get back into today's news. I will start off with basically Repubblica. Like, all the papers say basically the same thing, which I found strange. After the meeting, they called this agent. So during the meeting, apparently they laid out a new blueprint of renewals. You know what the parameters are, like it's like, I don't know how to say that, like a chart you make and you need to check boxes before you sign a new deal, apparently. So that's what they did during the meeting, and after the meeting they called this agent and said, not gonna happen. I find that strange. I'm like, you just met for 2 hours, you can just tell them in live, no? Or it's just that,
yeah. No, that does seem strange. I don't know, like that. I don't really know what goes on behind closed doors, how many different parties are in play and how many are in each party, right? Like, so it's not just like I would have Bene or Cherubini sitting there with maybe Allegri. No, there's probably like a whole board of people on both sides.
Yeah.
So did the big players just meet, kind of shake hands, have a shot of grappa and walk away and let the minions do the work, and it lasted 2 hours? Like, that's kind of maybe what happened, because it just doesn't make sense that they would be there face to face and not know what their parameters were going in.
I know I put my camera in the charger, so I need to move a bit. So yeah, I thought it was strange when I read that. I was like, weird, but maybe it's fake news, but it's just because of a lot of newspapers reported it. It wasn't just one. So I'm like,
Yeah.
there's some truth in it at the end of the day. But it was strange to me. I'm like, you just met, you just could have told them face to face, like it's not happening. You didn't really need to phone him up because that's weird. That's actually weird. But yeah, and also there was a report saying Agnelli left when his agent came in, and he came back when his agent left. I'm like, that's a bit childish if that's true, but that's weird for a president of a big company, which we are. We are a company. So
maybe he had to go to the washroom though. Like, what's the media hyping up? What are they trying to claw at right now? He maybe just had to really go
pick up the kids from school.
Yeah, it could be absolutely nothing. That's the thing we got to watch out for too, because it's the international break. These are those stupid little things they're gonna try to get the clicks with, essentially, right?
You don't need to believe everything.
That stuff. Yeah, that stuff I don't try not to pay attention to.
I agree with that. So yeah, like we can talk about Dybala. I think we will moving forward. Oh, I will ask you this because that's a big one. Because it was a question in the podcast, or like not the real question, but I will ask you: do you think it's gonna affect Dybala and affect like us also because we're directly linked to Dybala for the remaining 9 games, 10 if you make the Coppa Italia final? Do you think it's gonna affect him and us?
Seeing as we haven't really played with him, like like if he plays and he's not into it, that's a dead player where we could possibly have a livelier player in his spot. So yeah, I think he is mentally fragile enough. Not saying he's a complete mess, but he isn't the strongest of mentalities, let's say.
Yeah.
So for sure, this is a life-changing event.
It is.
And he's 28, which is old for soccer, but isn't necessarily super old for life. And he hasn't had to do this for how many years now, right? So yes, just the fact that it's a life-changing event. I've had to move multiple times in short periods of times, and it messes with you, even if you're super excited for the move. So yeah, you're gonna see a difference definitely from his mentality. That's just the way it is, and hopefully, I don't know, but we'll see. If it's bad enough, then bench him and we'll play like he wasn't here anyways. What do we got to lose?
Yeah, I agree with the part where you said like he's mentally a bit fragile, but I don't think he's gonna down tools. I don't think he's gonna. How do you want to say that?
He's not gonna pack up shop.
Yeah, he's not gonna let the club know. Yeah, you guys won. Like I don't think he's that player. I don't.
No, he's not spiteful.
I think he loves the fans too much to do that. In my opinion, maybe I'm naive. He doesn't really care about the club or the board, which I think is fair in his position. Like I understand that.
The fans, though, maybe I can see him.
But he's getting a lot of support. Like he is. I saw some video about his Instagram. Like the reactions, like it spiked, and he sees that because he's at home. He's not with the national team.
Yeah.
Training. They have some free days. He sees that. He reads stuff. I don't think he's gonna down tools, and we should hope he's not gonna down tools because again, we have won games without him, but you will win games more easily with him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and Inter in particular being rested.
Yeah.
For another couple of weeks.
You're gonna need him.
He's got to show up for that
because
the emotions. He just should be so emotionally charged, no matter what team he's playing. Like if you're playing Inter, and that much is on the line, you just got to be in that game.
Yeah, and again, top 4 is not secured. Like people think it's done. It's not done. Like if Atalanta didn't win in Bologna, which it shouldn't, but they did, so credit to them. It would have been 10 points if they win their game in hand. 7, I would say you cannot throw that away. But it's 5 with Inter next. It's not done. Like it can turn quickly. It could be 2 on Sunday, or Monday in 2 weeks. It could be 2 points. You can lose against Inter. They win. It's 2 points, and you still need to play Lazio at home, Fiorentina away, and you still have some tricky games with Sassuolo, Genoa, who are not backing down. They haven't lost a game in 8. So again 7 draws or 6 draws and 1 win, but still.
None of the games, none of the games in Serie A are truly an easy game, right?
So you're gonna need him. So you better hope. And that's the issue I have with the word choice of Arriva Bene. I like that he's honest, but I'm like, sometimes you just lie or just don't say it. You didn't need to say he's not at the center of the project. I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
When you say that, it's like, I'm gonna put that knife a bit deeper now. I'll tell the world.
That was a little odd too. Was that the comment you commented on, how Arriva Bene has no filter?
Yeah, he has no filter. I've never seen anything like that at the club, to be honest, in a very long time.
Maybe they're just trying to make an example because they have to clean house, and they're just, it's the signal. Hey guys, nobody's safe.
I get that, but at the end of the day, you're gonna need him until the end because it's not done. If you beat Inter and Atalanta drop points, yeah, but like, you need to beat Inter. Are they a good team, Inter? Yes. Are they in a good moment? No, they're not.
But again, when you have a derby, like the Derby d'Italia, like, it doesn't matter how bad form you're in, you're showing up.
I remember us coming back in Serie A and we beat Inter.
Yeah.
Very good Inter side. We had no business in beating them. We beat them. We were playing for 7th position. We were putting up a fight,
on any given day.
Because
just never know.
It's the magnitude of the game. Players will show up normally. They will show up. Inter won at the stadium, the first club to win at the stadium, 1-3, 3-1, something. Yeah, with Nagatomo scoring, or like, that team was horrendous, but they beat us. They beat us good down. We had no excuses. They were the better team on the night. So it's different, They can turn up. I believe we're gonna win. I've said it many times before, because we need to win. And again, we needed to win against Napoli, Milan, but now there's no choice. You need to win. Point is not good enough. Yeah, it's all on the line. You need to win. So
at the very least, this is making for an exciting last few games.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, the drama's real, at least.
But you're gonna need Dybala, just because you cannot bring in a replacement for Dybala now. So you need him. You need him because you see without Dybala how we struggle to win games. We win games, but it's a struggle week in, week out. With Dybala, the quality goes up because, again, fit Dybala is good. The problem is injuries. Those were the problems. Because this season, we almost forgot that he was playing for us at times. And he is our top scorer because he's quality. But you can.
He is, yeah.
But if he's out for, like you said, like 43% in 2 years, that's an issue.
And all those big games too, which have a bigger impact on it. Like all the Champions League games, that stat that came out last week.
I agree.
It's just unfortunate. You never hope it ends up this way. And
I agree.
It's injuries, right? It's not necessarily because there was bad blood. There might be now. We don't know for sure, but
now there is for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to hope that it's just between maybe at Arriva Bene and Allegri kind of it's good at that level, but we'll find out, I suppose. What is the date actually? You're gonna be in Italy for that weekend.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna skip the game because I'm not gonna lie, it's not worth the cost. It is not. I'm not gonna lie, it's not. If I knew in advance more, because I planned the trip, I didn't plan to go watch the game, but I was like, okay, it's possible. I asked for information. It's not worth that game. It isn't. It actually isn't. Like, what I need to pay to watch that game, all costs, changing flights, I can buy a season ticket next season.
Oh, wow.
Almost. So it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. So April 3rd, I just looked it up.
Yeah, I can watch next season. Like, it's not far. It's 1 hour flight for me, so it's not far.
I'm kind of jealous of that.
Danielo, excuse me, Bucci saying, I think Dybala will be benched for most of the rest of the season, like Ronaldo during the final last year. I don't believe. I think no, unless Dybala says, guys, screw it. I'm not gonna risk my feet for you guys. Take the rest of my wages. I don't care, but I need that bit. I need that big bag, that signing bonus. I need it. I think we have never really seen that in European football. Like in NFL, that's standard, and fans support that. In European football, fans will go wow if the players does that. It's different mindset. But
yeah,
if he does
that'd be
that,
interesting to see.
If he does that, he will fake injuries. You will hear it. You will hear it. It's fake injuries. It will leak.
He'll sub himself out at the 63rd minute.
It will leak. But that's the only way I can see he's being benched. But Allegri's not going to bench him. If he's fit, he's going to play him.
Yeah, he's gonna play Danilo in central midfielder before he puts his actual central midfielder in there.
Yeah.
So how's he gonna change with this one?
Yeah. Jeremiah's saying 2 questions. What do you guys think is Allegri's vision for the team till the season, till the end of this season and next season? And do you think he can convince Dybala to play really well and leave like a champion? I think Dybala will convince himself, in my opinion. And his vision is still a 4-3-3, which isn't a 4-3-3 because Dybala's not a winger. But next season, I think it's going to be a real 4-3-3. I believe. And
that's we get that left wing, perhaps. But
I think it's going to be a right wing. I think we're going to stick Chiesa on the left.
I just don't want to see that. I don't like it.
But the podcast is based on a 4-3-3, but we also included like Chiesa's position, so check that out. There are options, but you will see the good options
the numbers
are impossible.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it because
I'm interested in that. It starts off great, but it ends depressing. Doesn't end really good. The conclusion is not what everybody wants to hear. So yeah, Mario saying Allegri has no vision. He has, but it's just people don't like that vision. So people say he has no vision. It's just people don't like his vision.
It's hard to love, that's for sure.
Yeah, like if you win, it's fine, but we're not winning, so it's bad. I think that's fair to say, in my opinion. Hassa saying we need one more Scudetto for Dybala. Yeah, and for Chiellini, I would say, but it's not gonna happen. 7 points from Milan. They're winning games, shithousing their way to wins, like champions should do towards the end of the season, like we did in the past. So I think they're gonna win it. I said Inter, but they look so fragile again. Simone Inzaghi's teams in the second part of the season, I have no idea what happens with them, but they don't look like champions. And Milan do, because they grind out results with missing players. It's just they know how to do it now. And like I said, if Pioli wins that, he deserves a statue with that squad, because that squad shouldn't be anywhere near a Scudetto. Let's be real. But credit to him and the players. Bonus asking what happened to Agressi's much awaited article. I have actually no idea.
That's a very good memory, because I just read that too, and
it's a mystery.
What did happen?
I'm because someone said, "Oh, you translated it." No, because I rewatched it. That's his exact words, and also Italian news accounts tweeted out the same thing. I understand Italian, so I'm sure what I heard in the first place, but I fact checked it, and everybody said the same thing. So I have no idea. You need to ask Romeo in the DM. Just spam in his DM.
Yeah.
I don't think he remembers what he said. So yeah, that's the thing. Hopefully Italy qualifies and Chiellini spends one more season for depth. Yeah, I hope Italy qualifies.
Yeah,
I don't think they will.
I would be pretty upset. I don't know. Like, if they beat Macedonia, then they play Portugal most likely, right?
Yeah, or Turkey away from home.
It's doable.
It's doable if you add Chiesa and inform Barella and Chiellini and Bonucci fit at the back, but they're not. So it's a big issue. I'm not saying Portugal are a great team at the moment, because they're struggling. No. They're missing Ruben Diaz, and I forgot the other. Pepe is also injured, I think. I think they're not playing. So they're not the Portugal of old, I would say. No. So they're beatable, but I've seen the last games of Italy, and
I thought they've been horrible.
Yeah, injured players not being at their best, like a Barella, key players not being at their best. Bonucci, Chiellini not fit. Spinazzola out, Di Lorenzo out. Like, I'm not rating Di Lorenzo, but they had a system, you know.
Yeah. But again, it's you just never know, right?
There's Insigne not having a good season. Yeah, there's always a chance at the end.
Insigne is going to be my boy pretty soon.
Yeah,
Toronto FC.
Like I give them a chance just because they have the better coach.
Yeah.
That's why I give them a chance. But I hope they make it. I'm still gonna watch a World Cup if they don't make it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's
I like
fun.
how you rolled your eyes when I said Insigne is going to be my boy soon.
Yeah.
You don't like him at all, do you?
No, if you watch Toronto, I think it's gonna be fun. But I don't like Insigne. He talks too much.
Again, like we mentioned before, when you're part of it, you just buy in and love it regardless.
Yeah, that's fair. Ryan saying, "Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best." It's easy to shit on Arriva Bene and Carabini now, but imagine if you renew Dybala in October, A+2, and he's injured all the time. Yeah, but like you don't have a control over that. Like he can go to Barcelona and play 90 games straight without an injury. I don't know, but the how do you say that? The facts are he played 43, excuse me, percent of the games for us. So, Mario saying Dybala plays against Inter and makes a difference and will not be safe in the stadium for management. The fans will let them hear it. Yeah, but they don't care. Like imagine them caring. They're millionaires. They don't care what we think. We're still gonna pay to watch. So that's what it is. Ryan saying Pepe has COVID. I didn't know that. Diaz, Neves, and Cancelo injured. Okay, I read Pepe was out. I didn't know he had the virus. I thought he was injured. Mr. Dax is saying, do you regret selling Cancelo for Danilo and some money? I do. I'm not gonna dwell on it. Like other people do because it happened. But I'd rather have Cancelo than Danilo.
But can Cancelo play midfield?
No, he can't. Is he good defensively? No. So Allegri will struggle with him. He doesn't.
Yeah.
You will not love him, but I still rather have Cancelo than Danilo on my team. That's not shitting on Danilo, but like I think it's obvious who the better player is. No, in my opinion, I like Danilo, but
I think different. Though, just our system, Allegri, Danilo would probably just be better.
With that. I agree, but like if you have that type of player, like the board should say, you know what, you need to make it work because Cancelo's top quality. Enough, yeah. Like
he is one of the best. It's hard to get a good right back, and he is one of them.
So, but we balanced the books. That's what we did. Mr. Dag saying from 1 to 10, how much do you believe the Salah rumors? 0.
Straight up at 0. I think it was personally because Allegri said my dream signing would be Salah. I think again the media is just kind of spinning that.
Like, okay, he has 1 year left on the deal. At the moment, contract talks with Liverpool are not going as they should be going. But they're not gonna give him away. You need to pay him the transfer fee, agent fees. Like,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I think we did that with Higuain, like in terms of big money, like Ronaldo, and it broke kind of the wage structure. It broke everything a bit down. I don't think the club, and like if the manager, like let's say his managers come at you and say you can have Mo Salah, like I don't think any club, let's be honest, any club will say yeah, we'll take him. Yeah, you know, would I blame the club for doing it? No, because he's a world-class player, you know. But I don't think it's gonna happen. He will say at Liverpool. They will figure it out. Ryan is saying Rudiger, Jorginho, and Lodi. Let's see in the summer. We just need to get that top 4 spot first because it's not done. I see a lot of people saying it's done, and it annoys me. It's not done. It's 5 points with 9 games to play.
Oh yeah, it's still up for grabs. 7 really.
Points. And it's so fun. Like if you were 23 points ahead, I would say yeah, it's done because it's done. But you're not. It's 5 points with 27 up to grab, 30 for Atalanta.
You can't really, without any confidence, say it's done until mathematically it's done.
Yeah, that's again. It's 8 now. It's 8 now. They need to play against Torino, but yeah, if Torino show up, they can take a point out of that. But
we can lose to any team, we have proven. So
they show up when they don't need to show up against teams like you know. But it is what it is. Raven saying it's no point. Salah will soon be 30. It's waste of money. You still have a very good impact, but I think the club is going different direction. Also, it's a dream. Like, I'm not saying it's realistic.
Yeah, that's all it is, a dream.
Yeah. Haas is saying best players: Reece James, Ruben Diaz, Mo Salah, but they're unrealistic. Yeah, I agree. I think that's obvious. No? Mr. Dax is saying still believe in Gravenberg. I think he's going Bayern. I think.
Well, that article came out saying that Bayern offered 15, but didn't Juventus offer 15 like 2 weeks ago?
It's 25, close to 25. But I think it's obvious he's going Bayern. Let's say that, because the journalist who broke the news is a Dutch one. He's a Romeo Cressy from Ajax. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like to believe in it. I don't think it's a done deal, but
no, it's not a done deal. But like, it needs to fall out completely. Like, you know, it needs, like, I don't know what should happen, but it's close to being done. I think the club also understood that.
We hope. He is one of the guys, one of the younger midfielders I would like to see.
I agree 100%. I said that last summer. Okay, I wasn't on the channel, so people could say, "Oh, yeah," but he's one of my favorite players in terms of prospects. You know, he's up there, but it's not gonna happen. I think it's not gonna happen for obvious reasons. Jeremiah is saying, since it's mathematically possible, what if Dybala helps us win the Scudetto against all odds? That would be crazy, right?
It would.
Yeah, it will. But you win that with a team. You don't win that with Dybala on his own. You need a team for it.
You might get the game-winning goal that gets it for us, but you know, you still need Delict up there stopping the shots and the whole team essentially, right? Yeah, it's just not the one guy. So
you need everyone. I think that's clear. I'm gonna check who Atalanta play when we come back from international break. I think they play on Sunday, like us, if I remember correctly. They play Napoli at home. It's a big Sunday. Yeah? It's actually a big Sunday. They play Napoli at home. If they don't win and we win against Inter, it's almost like it's close. Like, you cannot give it away. But it's a lot of ifs. I said it 3 times in one sentence. So let's see. Quancy Flowers. Tell me if I pronounce that correctly, if that's your real name. I think Quancy. Hopped on late. Ali, what's your thoughts on Savic? Man is more GA than Dybala. I think we get a young talent like Raspadori or Sonioli to replace Dybala in depth, but the GA will come from all over the place, I think you will say. Savic, yeah, sign me up.
I think everyone wants him if the price is right.
Because he's that guy for me. You need to check out my podcast with Julian coming out tomorrow, because you brought up a talent. You brought up a good point about Raspadori, and I would say I agree. But check that out on tomorrow's podcast. It's gonna drop around 2 p.m. CAT, right? I think so. So check that out, because I would say I agree with you in terms of bringing talent, but Raspadori cannot be the main guy. If that's the main guy, we have an issue. Name is saying Forza Juve from Bosnia. Wow, thanks for joining.
Welcome.
I think you're the first one from Bosnia in the chat, if I can remember correctly. Rick is saying Allegri's like your ex-girlfriend. You know she was not right for you, but you went back for a second time. But to be honest, he gave us good memories. So, but yeah, at the end it became toxic. So maybe you're right.
Yeah, you should never go back to the old girlfriend.
No, that's what I said with Bonucci. Like, I'm not. That's why I'm. Well, if Pogba comes back, will he improve us? Yes. Will he be the most talented player on that squad? Yes. Is he my first option? No, because like I have an issue with bringing back ex-players, ex-managers. You know, there's a reason why it like should have ended. Stop. Period. It's done. You know, in my opinion. But let's see. I saw a comment, but Ryan saying Atalanta against Napoli and Osimhen will not play because he's suspended. Like, let's be honest. Like, I don't believe in Scudetto, so I'd rather have Atalanta dropping points. If that makes sense. Because do I want Napoli to win the title? No. Milan? No. Inter? No. But one of them is gonna win. So it is what I just need to make top four. That's the situation we're in. So best case scenario for us is Napoli get points off Atalanta because we have Inter at home. So Clinical is saying I heard Juve is interested in Gabriel Jesus. He's a hit or miss, very inconsistent. Check out tomorrow's podcast.
Yeah, another name that has come back from the dead, it seems.
Yeah, I wish it'd say that. I will say that, but check out tomorrow's podcast. Like that's why I was like, do we need to do the live? I was like, people ask the questions, and I'm gonna spoil everything we said on the podcast. But if you watch that, so tomorrow night you can fire the questions in the chat. We will be live again tomorrow. So yeah, I will ask some transfer. I will talk some transfer news now. I will start with. I will ask your opinion about Berardi because that's what the news was today. Berardi, okay, Zaniolo. I think you spoke about Zaniolo. I will ask you about Raspadori and Berardi. So what do you think?
I mean, on one hand, sure, they're decent price. Italian, which I know Juve is trying to italicize the team again. There's definitely positives, I guess, when you look at it. However, do I get excited by either one of those names? Not really. Especially Berardi, I'm definitely not excited about that. Because I've definitely seen what he's done at the highest stages playing at the Euros, right? Yes, I know I joked earlier he won a Euro, but when he was on, was I ever really that impressed with it? No. Just in general, I'm not. I don't know. He's consistent. He puts up numbers. How does he perform at that next level, though? And that's the question you have to ask with Juve: is that they expect those performances at the next level? Don't think Berardi will do that. Raspadori, we don't know. He's young. He might be able to elevate himself to that level. But we've already having those problems with Keane. Yep. So what? Are we just switching up names now? Just going for the next Italian kid? I don't know.
I would switch those players.
Very unsure.
I would switch up.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah.
I think Raspadori has a higher ceiling because I think he can do more than Keane. I think I've seen Keane now.
It's a replacement for Keane is essentially what I see this as.
Yeah. Over Arda saying Salah the right replacement for Dybala. Like the perfect replacement is Joao Felix. But
probably, yeah. No but 4-1-4-1, but again, our system, how's that gonna work?
You will smash it on that. Like imagine Chiesa, Vlahovic, Felix. Or like you could switch it up, Chiesa on the right.
Yeah. I want to see him on the right.
I'll buy season taken to watch that. Not gonna lie. I'm going to the stadium to watch that.
But there's been no links with them. I haven't heard anything.
No, before we went live, like one so-called journalist, we will get linked to Felix because it makes sense. Like in terms of it makes sense to fill that whole position, but it doesn't make sense in terms of why would Atletico sell him, and they paid 120 almost for him. So
yeah, it's a lot. And then the other name I know. Julian mentioned him last week. I think it was Soblazai. I'm probably saying that wrong, but yeah. That's a name we haven't really heard of, which you think you would.
He was on Paratisi's list, but like, if injuries scares you, then, well, he's going to scare you.
Oh, he's injury prone?
Yeah, he's pretty young too, though. He's back now, but he's not getting back in the team because Nkunku, and I keep forgetting the other guy's name. I forgot it now. Are doing very well. So you cannot break it up now. But he's very talented. Like, there's no question about that. I saw people saying Rafinha from Leeds. I like him, but
yeah, I've heard that too.
He's gonna stay in the Premier League. Like Arsenal, Man U, Tottenham, they're all interested, so he's gonna stay in the Premier League. Even Barcelona are interested. But let's see. Do you think there will be a president change next year? No. There are no indications for it. So I would say no. Berardi has 14 goals, 14 assists. Are we talking about the same player? He's one of the 5 players who have 10 goals, 10 assists this season. Yeah, like I don't think anybody questioned his output. I didn't. I don't think Davide did. It's just it's Serie A. I've seen him at a bigger stage. It ain't that. I'm sorry.
It's just different when you play for a larger team with all
He's
the
the main
media
man at
attention and all that.
Sassuolo. He's the main man at Sassuolo. That's why he
But
stayed in the
but
bench.
Sassuolo doesn't get trashed on day in and day out like Juve does, right? And that's what I mean by like stepping up to the next level is just that mental capacity and the ability to perform with that pressure, that outside pressure, not even coming from the club necessarily, but just the nonsense from outside. And I don't know if Berardi is that guy. I think where he is right now is perfect for him. And that doesn't take away from his skill.
I think he do very well for Fiorentina, Roma, even Lazio.
Yeah, Roma. Yeah, any of those teams, but
if you want to dominate,
playing for Inter, for instance,
if you want to dominate Serie A and compete in Europe, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, I just don't. He's good. He's just not excellent, I suppose.
I've watched him in the Euros.
Yeah, we're trying not to trash on him.
I've watched him in the Euros try to beat some quality players, and it took away some years of my life. It was so slow. It was so difficult to watch. In Europe, it's not going to happen because that's people beat Dybala with that stake, and I'm like, if you have problems with Dybala in Europe, then surely Berardi's not the option. Like he isn't. I'm sorry. Like in Serie A, he will do his thing, but
again, I can see maybe as off the bench, so I can't see Raspadori, and Berardi at the same time. Like
no,
we're getting one or the other. Essentially, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And again, I just think either one of them would replace Keane, the third choice striker for third or first choice strikers, kind of where I see these rumors coming from. Or going towards, I should say.
You know what it is? We're gonna get linked with every winger out there, like because I think 4-3 is the way to go, and like, Dybala isn't a winger, so that's why it was difficult to play a real 4-3-3. But we will get linked with every winger out there. So
and I did say striker. I should have said like forward. My bad. I'll correct myself there. But he won't be. He's not the starters, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's gonna be an off the bench kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is that what he's gonna want to come to Juventus?
No. He wants to play. He wants to be certain of his position. That's why he never left Sassuolo. And when you come into a big club, you're never certain unless you are special. But he's not special.
Unless you are Chiesa.
Yeah, he's not special. So if you're not good, you will get benched unless there are no options out there. But let's see. I think we will sign Jorginho, Zaniolo, Rudiger, and another Raspadori or something like that. Maybe. Those are the names out there. But we know every summer there are names, like pre-summer, and then when the summer hits, we're getting linked with different players, and that becomes more serious.
Yeah.
No?
I think everyone is getting on the Jorginho hype. I'm kind of on the Jorginho hype.
That's fair. But I think there will always be in the summer name that will get really like a hot track to follow, and you're like, where did that came from? We were not linked with him before, so I would say stay calm because.
Oh yeah, obviously you got to stay calm. Let's not get overexcited. It's good to be excited. Don't get me wrong, but you got to restrain yourself a bit. We're months away from any of this, really.
Yeah. It's international break, so but we need to focus on getting top 4 now. I think that's the key now. I think we spoke about everything today. Let me think. Actually, news broke. No, it was Salah, Zaniolo, Raspadori, usual. We talked about Dybala. I think we discussed everything that happened today. Nothing. I think tomorrow is a meeting for the Chilo's contract, so that's news. I guess that's news. That's news. It's news. Yeah. And as I was asked this question a lot, not personally, in the chat and stuff. Next to wear the number 10. Now, when yesterday news broke, I saw people give it to Chiesa. Like personally, I would say let him recover.
Yeah.
And the second thing I want to say is, I don't really care because the number 10 has no meaning. It's commercial. Like, it looks great on the back of a player, number 10, instead of 28. You know. But we gave it Pogba for one season, knowing he would leave the next one.
It's a symbolic thing. It's like it's almost like because the captaincy is given to the guys with the most games played, right? So this is sort of another way to show that. It's a symbolic gesture. Which in an organization like that, like, so if I go to hockey, being Canadian, now it's stereotype, but we have captains and 2 assistant captains or alternate captains.
Yeah.
Whereas in football, you got soccer. I know, multicultural here. So European football, you have the one captain, and then it changes from game to game. If a guy it's just the number 10 is the number 10. That's almost like having that C on your chest.
Yeah, back in the day there were real number 10s. Now they're midfielders. Wing. Like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like it's evolved into that in a sense.
Will the Chiesa jersey sell more if he gets number 10? 100%.
Oh yeah,
and that's why they do it. So I get it. Like, I'm not gonna complain because I'm part of modern football. I'm still watching it on 20 different channels. Because Serie A, in Italy, you need to watch Serie A on DAZN. Some games are on Sky, Champions League on media. Like, and we are part of it.
It's whatever the major sport is in your country, it's harder to watch that sport.
It is
because of all the TV rights.
Like, I'm not complaining about it because we're part of it. Like, we accept it.
Oh yeah.
So we shouldn't complain then. Also, I would say at some point I'm gonna complain, but then yeah, that's it.
If we didn't care about the marketing and all that jazz, we would be, I don't know. In my case, I would be rooting for Atletico Ottawa. Has anybody even heard of that team? No, nobody cares about them.
You just made them up.
Premier League, they're trash. Sorry.
Oh, it's a real team.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Atleti, I guess, decided to invest in the Canadian Premier League, and this is.
That's weird because you have a different league, but Toronto and Montreal play in the MLS. Like, I never got that.
Yeah, they just created the Canadian Premier League. Is it 2 or 3 seasons ago now? And that's to promote the homegrown talent.
But yeah,
so it's like a second division of MLS, but just in Canada.
It's like Cardiff and Swansea playing in the Premier League, but like they're not UK, you know. It's Cardiff, it's Swansea. They're not in UK. They play Premier League. It's the same, you know.
I suppose, but if you look at rugby, Toronto was in the English league too, right? And there was a French team as well.
I saw that, but that's like darts. Like, they have the Premier League, but it's all over the world, like, you know.
I know nothing about darts. I'm not going there.
It's big on Belgium TV.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so it's fun to watch at times. It relaxes you. It's relaxing.
Here you gotta go to biker bar to play darts.
Someone said, I'll read out a few before we wrap it up. Someone said you need to retire. The number had to be retired when Del Piero left, and I would say no. I never understood that idea of retiring numbers because at some point you have no numbers anymore if you do that. Also, like, a kid should still dream about wearing that number 10 for his favorite club. It should be a dream for everyone, you know.
I do like that point.
It should be a dream.
Yeah.
If Dybala goes to Inter, how would you feel? I would look at him sideways, but like, I'm not gonna. If I'm in the stadium, I'm not gonna shout things to him. Like, I'm not that guy. I will wish him the best in terms of health. I will wish him the worst in terms of success on the field. That's what it is. Let me see the last one. Some of the people I know are saying in the next 5 years, the MLS will take over the top 5 leagues.
I don't think 5 years.
The top 5 leagues, the European leagues, no chance.
But I think there is enough money and commercialization of that league that
I agree. But I will say
15, 20 years.
I will say this. European people are not gonna wake up to watch those games. One league. That's one. And they're not part of the Champions League. So it will be very difficult. If they make a different thing, like, let's say, a Super League, but with also teams from outside Europe, then yeah, they will compete because money will float in, and at the end of the day, it's a business, and players will go there and play. Like,
in their defense, sorry.
No, I say one player will start the trend by moving, and then the rest will follow. You know. But
if they do it right, though, from a business perspective, you see how big the NBA and the NFL has become in Europe.
But you know
And
what
I know they're starting on the back foot, but they're just American commercialization is ruthless. And I think that will eventually win over.
But NBA and NFL are a different sport. Like football is, it's a European sport. It started in Europe.
But the Super League that they originally tried to do was based on that American style.
Yeah,
so I think there's still some more. And again, I'm saying like 20 years from now, maybe. This is a long-term deal.
It's American style, but with no American teams. You know? And JG said, living in the US, big no. It's a 5th or 6th sport here. So that's a big issue. And also, it's too big in Europe to take over. It's impossible, in my opinion. It's too big.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say it's going to take over 5th. Yeah, maybe 6th, like come in after the French league, perhaps.
It will maybe get 6th. More viewers and watch time. I get that, but like I'm not gonna lie.
Money, and that's the thing. Like it's money. They don't have to have the viewers. They just need the money.
I'm not gonna lie. It's on 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm never gonna wake up to watch a game. I'm gonna be completely honest. Even if there are quality players, I'm not gonna stay up to watch those games. I have probably a job at that point. You know. Alive.
But then there's Asia. Are the people in Asia gonna watch? Because I know the NBA is really big in Asia as well.
Yeah, but like that's a different sport. Like it's like I watch NFL because it exists in Europe, but like it doesn't exist. You know, so I watch NFL because I like it. But I like football. I'm not watching NFL, MLS. If I'm watching outside of Europe, I'm probably going to watch the Brazilian league first because it's fun.
But money, all I'm saying is money talks, though. Just to watch this giant empire take over, because that's what the Americans do.
Maybe, yeah. But I would say I'm not gonna wake up.
Again, this is years. This is years in the future. Regardless, it's all hypothetical.
Stephanie saying I'm not watching an MLS game between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. No chance. I agree. Like.
No, and if I was in Europe, I wouldn't either.
I think
but that's actually why I like to watch European soccer, is because it's in the middle of the day and I'm actually awake to watch it.
I get that.
I can't stay up till 10, 11 o'clock to
Europeans have their favorite European team. They're not going to wake up to watch NFL. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's going to be, they're going to take the minor markets. Obviously, they're going to have North America, and they're going to take all those minor Asian markets and maybe some in South America with the similar time zones. And they're just going to grow by taking all these small spots.
They're growing. The MLS are growing. Like, I'm not going to deny that. But
it's huge since I started paying attention to it, I don't know, 20 years ago, however long it's been.
I'm not watching full games. Sometimes I'm awake. It's on in the background because it's live on TV.
Yeah.
I think it's still difficult to watch. It's not the same. Like, the level is still far away, in my opinion.
Because all their good players are 35.
Yeah, and the good ones are
in their 30s.
Like now, the younger ones are kind of same because they can compete a bit money-wise. But like at the end of the day, they will leave for Europe because that's the goal. You know, that's it. Yeah. That's the pinnacle of the sport. The last one before we wrap it up, Hassa saying favorite NFL team. So I'm a Steelers fan. So.
Steelers. And I don't watch the NFL.
So no fan.
Get some people mad. No, and that's the problem. That's why I don't watch the NFL, as I never found a team to root for. Yeah. And I can't just randomly pick one. I need to have some sort of emotional attachment. I just do not have one in the NFL.
I just started watching it and they caught my eyes. So I didn't know what they won. Like I had no idea about how you say that history. I just watched it. They caught my eyes. Basically the coach, the way he spoke after games, before games, I was like, oh. And then I looked up things, and the family who owns the club, it reminds me of Juve. I'm not gonna lie, the way they operate, everything. So yeah, it's not successful since I started rooting for them, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I could throw in another Canadiana thing there. I actually did follow the Canadian Football League there for a while.
I watched one game in the Canadian League and it sucks.
It's not.
It's a different rules great. Also. Different
slightly
rules.
Different, yeah. But yeah, that's just to make fun of myself because yeah, I did watch that and go to a few games.
Yeah, guys, it's already Wednesday for me over here, so I need to go to bed.
Yeah, have a good evening.
before we wrap it up, before I did this live, I recorded a podcast with Julian that's coming out tomorrow. It's a good one. It's about potential signings to replace Dybala. We went over, I think, 12 names. Not all direct replacements. You will see if you watch it. Go watch that. Go check that out tomorrow. And in the comments, give us your top 3 realistic and top 3 unrealistic, if you want to do that, replacements for Dybala. So yeah, that's coming out tomorrow, and we will be live tomorrow. I don't know if there's going to be a daily. Let's see if there's news. Otherwise, we're just going to let the podcast do its thing. I want to thank Davide for joining.
Thank you
again.
It's always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you.
This is just getting weird now.
Yeah, it's getting weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now we gotta shut this down.
But yeah, guys, thanks everybody in the chat for joining. If you didn't like the video, subscribe, bell icon, hit that as always, and then we will see you back tomorrow. Ciao.